Hello, my name is Brian Galebuck, and I will be a guest commentator in this test video for Dweebovision. I am a North American Scrabble expert, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully, this will help to improve your game and be fun to watch. There will be a couple key differences between this video and the ones featuring David Webb. The most important difference is the dictionary. I will be playing with the TWL dictionary, which is the North American Tournament word list. Also, I will be using the double challenge rule, which is what is used in North American tournament play. With this challenge rule, a lost challenge always results in a loss of turn for one of the players. In order to have a challenging game, I'm putting out a seek request to all players rated no lower than 250 points below my current rating. I'm not sure how long it will take for a game to start, so I'm going to pause the video until someone accepts my game request. I'll be right back. Okay, the game has just started, so let's join the action. It's my opponent to go first. I have a fairly balanced rack, although I have 4 vowels and only 3 consonants. Now, okay, my opponent has played rather quickly. Do I have a bingo through any of those letters? Nothing through the V, I don't believe. Probably not through the A or the E, because that adds yet another vowel. The N doesn't look too promising, and neither does the S. Okay, so what should I try to do here? It would be great if I could play a double-double starting here at E5 and going down to K5. Is that possible? That looks pretty unlikely. Now I'm just sort of lifting up each letter here to look at the remaining letters and visualizing the A going along with that. That doesn't look like that is going to result in a double-double. So, how can we resolve this rack? I could play something like POW would score a lot of points. It would be good if I could use an additional vowel, though, so I don't end up with a 3-vowel, 1-consonant leave. Wipe might be okay, but that doesn't fit. But it does here. Let's see what this scores. That would score 27 points. That's not a bad play. What does POW score? That also scores 27, but wipe is better because that uses an extra vowel. I think that's a pretty good play. We're going to go with this one. Okay. This is a pretty balanced rack. I have a duplicated N. If there was an available B, I'd have the word bannerol. I don't see anything through the V. And I don't see anything through the E or the A. Now I have duplicated N's, so that N is not likely to be of use. So unless there's a useful floater put out by my opponent, it looks like I'm going to have to try to clean up this rack again. Now, I wonder if I have a 6-letter play that reaches to this triple word score. Lanner. Okay, librated. That is a very good word by my opponent. Okay, now. L. I don't see anything through the L. How about the I? I don't see anything through the I. Now here's the B that I was looking for, but unfortunately that is not available for the word I was looking at. How about the D? I don't see a bingo through the D either. Okay, so I was looking at the word lanner. How many points would that score? 23. That's not really very many points. It may be better to make a rack balancing play. Because this rack is pretty good, I don't want to use all my good tiles all at the same time. But I want to still score points, though. Now, I mustn't forget about these 3 spaces here. Could there possibly be an extension, a front extension for veins? Not that I can see, and not especially with these tiles. Now, wipe takes a back R, which I have. I could do lanner here. That's 22. That's 1 point fewer than what I was looking at in the triple lane. So I don't think I want to do that. Now, R-A-L. That doesn't look like anything. I was trying to think of a word that maybe goes here so I could take advantage of scoring some extra points with these letters. L-O-N E. N-A-R is a pretty good leave. 17 points is 6 points fewer than my triple here. It's a little more defensive, but you know, I don't know if I want to be defensive. I'm trailing in the game right now, so I want to try to score more points. Now, something from this V maybe. Okay, well, I'm not seeing much of anything, so I'm going to go with lanner. It's not the best, but we'll see what we pick up. Okay, I see the word cooing. If the word EE, which is a Collins word, were on the board, I'd have congeeing. But that's not going to be possible in this game since this is a TWL game. Now, I could play the word cooing. Now, let's not forget about these congaing. Not congoing. Congaing would be good, but I'd need an A for that. All right, well, I'm thinking of playing the word cooing somewhere. This would get a lot of points for the C. $28 points. How about if I played cooing here? 18 points. That's a lot fewer. This looks a lot better. Now, I could play the word cooling. 24 points, leaving a G. This also leaves a G. It looks like I'm going to leave a G no matter what I do. Now, YEA takes an N. Congo. I don't like that play very much. Okay, I'm going to go with cooing here. And I got to keep an eye on the time. I am using a lot of time this early in the game. That looks like a very good rack. But do I have a bingo? Talegio if I had an open G. I'm going to look at these floaters here. Anything from the R. And I can imagine these as the first letter in these words. Since if it wasn't, I'd have to also incorporate one of the letters in cooing, which would be difficult. Talegio. Talegio. I think that has two G's. Talegio. I don't think it has two L's. I'm just typing it down here to take a look at what those look like. That doesn't look correct to me. That looks correct, and I would need an open G to play that. Now, it is possible I could have a 9-letter bingo through some of these letter pairs, but that is difficult. Those are difficult to spot. Now, if there was an open N, I'd have legation. I could play legation here, but that only uses 6 of my tiles. Now, I mustn't forget to look for extensions, and hooks are always very key in the game of Scrabble. Anything I can put here in front of veins. I still don't see anything there. No front hooks on librated. Now, there's a hog there. That doesn't take any front hooks, at least of letters that I have. Now, do I have a word going to the H? I see the word Goliath. That uses 6 of my tiles and leaves the E, which is a good tile. I'm not seeing anything that uses all 7 of my tiles. I'm inclined to play Goliath. 22 points, leaving me with the E. There's still a blank remaining, so by playing off a lot of tiles, I have a good chance of picking up a blank or an S. And I pick up a lot of kind of junky tiles. Lots of vowels. I have 6 vowels, only 1 consonant. This could be a challenge to play through here. So, I want to try, if I can, to play at least 3 of these vowels off, if not 4. If I hadn't blocked with Goliath, I'd have the word Louie, L-O-U-I-E, which would leave me with D-U-E, which is still not a great rack. I may want to trade at this point, because any play I make is still likely to leave me with a significantly vowel-heavy leave. Now, dit is a word, but P-A does not take any front letters that I have. I think I am going to trade. Now, looking at the rack, or rather what's in the bag. There are 45 tiles left in the bag, plus 7 on my opponent's rack. There are 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and if I include the blank, 20 vowels out of 52. That's not very many vowels. So if I kept ED, which is a pretty good combination, and I threw back E-I-O-U-U, I'm not likely to pull a very heavy vowel result out of the bag. So we're going to change E-I-O-U-U, keeping D-E. Here we go. All right, that's a better rack. Now, I have 3 high-scoring consonants in the D, the F, and the G, or rather, just multiple points, not necessarily high points. If I could get rid of the F and the duplicated T, and perhaps the G, I would have a pretty good rack. Fidget would be a good word if I could play through an I. Now, just looking at the time, I still have 10 minutes left, and we've used approximately half of the tiles in the bag. So I'm doing okay on time. It would be nice to have a little more time. I took quite a lot of time on some of those early moves. It would also be nice, if I can manage it, to try to open up the board a little bit more. Looking at hooks again, Y-E-A takes an S, of course, also takes an N and an R, and I don't have any of those letters. Celt, that's a good play. Now, what can I play off of that, perhaps? I think I see a pretty good play here. How about D fat? That's 37 points. So even though I'm not really going with my goal of cleaning up the rack so much, it's very hard to pass up 37 points, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one. That is the play I am making. And that is a really good rack. Now, is it a bingo rack? I see digest. But what can I do using both T's? Now, Celt, I believe, takes a front S. Skelt. Skelt. That sounds right to me. Pretty sure about that. Spa also takes a front S to make spa. If I could end something in ST, that would be a pretty high scoring play. I'm not seeing a 7-letter bingo with this rack, though. Now, how about from the R? No. From the E? I don't think so. N. I see the word nidget. N-I-D-G-E-T. That would take a back S. And that would help open up bingo lanes in this area of the board. Now, one way to look for nines is you disregard the S and you look through pairs of 2 letters, and then you think of pluralizing it. So I'm looking through the W, E, and the I-S. I'm not seeing anything there. Now, I mentioned digest before. If I played that here, how many points would I get for that? 31. That's not a bad score. I'm within striking range if I can just make high scoring plays. I don't necessarily need to get a bingo to catch up. It would be really nice if I could get a bingo, but it's not absolutely necessary. So sometimes it's easy to get caught in the mind trap of I need a bingo at all costs, and then you forego high scoring plays. You want to try to, if you can find high scoring plays, go for those. Of course, it's nice if you can get high scoring plays and balance your rack at the same time. That's the best of both worlds, of course. Now, I takes a back D. But I'm not seeing how I can make a play here. Now, my opponent is taking a while, so it's possible my opponent may have the second blank. Okay, that's a low-scoring play there. Now I have an R that can be used in multiple places in the word. So let's see, if I have an R here, I'm not seeing a word there. How about an O with the O in arrow? Stodgiest. That is a 9. I would need an additional S to play that. Now, this area of the board is open for bingos. I could be rather offense-minded and open up this top row. That doesn't seem like a great option to me, however. Perhaps a tile cleaning up play would be called for here. If I could play a G, a T, a D, maybe all three of those. I'm not going to get very many points, though, is the problem. I want to still continue to try to score points. Well, I identified I get a lot of points for digest. This is very undefensive, though. But I'm pulling the score pretty even, though, by doing that. And I'm doing a lot of tile turnover, so I have a chance to draw this Z or an X or a blank or S's. So I'm inclined to give it a try, even though it seems a little reckless. Here we go. Let's see what happens. And there is the blank. So that's very exciting. I saw the X, so I was excited to see the blank. Now, I'm close to taxi cab, but that would need an A instead of an O. Toxic. Okay, first off, can we do something exciting with the X? Yes, we could. We could play Cox or Box. Box is 48 points if my opponent does not take that spot. Now, it would be difficult to get over here, but I could do it if I use my blank as an A. But do I have a word then that reaches over there? Co-tax, bow-tax. Those are unfortunately not words. If they were, it would be a tremendous number of points. Okay, my opponent has obstructed the use of this top row here, so I have to make a completely different play. Now, where else can I play this X? It would be nice if I could play the X and maybe another one of these high point tiles in order to maximize my chances of quickly getting a bingo. How am I doing on time? 7 minutes. I have 27 tiles left in the bag. I'll have to play not too slowly here. OT, unfortunately, is not a word. Otherwise, I'd have box here. X. Where can I play the X? I could play XI, but that's not going to leave me with a great rack. I want to try to use one of the high scoring consonants in addition to the X. How can I do that? Well, I could play toxic somewhere, perhaps. I don't see where to play that, though. Well, I could play, instead of playing the X immediately, I could play a word like bit. Just really quickly, I'm just going to look and make sure I don't have a bingo. Anything through this O doesn't look promising. How about the R? No. I don't think I have a bingo. So I'd like to play, I would love to play box or cox somewhere if I could, but I'm not seeing how to do that. All right. That's important not to get too flustered here. What can I do? I could play just ox, but that leaves me with a very consonant heavy, and there's not a lot of vowels in the bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 out of 35. So I need to get rid of some consonants if I can. Well, I could just play box, but that's very few points. That seems like a waste of an X. I could play XI, 27. Ox is 25. And I'm running out of time, so we are going to have to do something here soon. All right, let's do ox and hope for some vowels, please. Give us some vowels. Okay. I see biotitic if I had a T to play through. I'm trying to look through the D. All right. At this point, I think I want to try to open up some new areas here. Well, this doesn't open up anything except this top row, tick. We have the D, which does not take a back S in our dictionary. But let's try this. Tick for 20 points. I've caught up in score, so I may win without getting a bingo. At this point, I'm just trying to score some points here. I'm not seeing a bingo, but if I could use maybe the B and the Y, I could still score a bingo. How about boy? That will take a back S, and I have a blank, which could help on that aspect. So here we go. I'm still trying to consider bingos, but I'm not seeing anything. This is a juicy lane if I could get to the triple word score. Now this takes a back S or an O. Truism, good play by my opponent. I can play... I was going to try to play the F there, but I don't have anything that goes to the sides that scores. All right. Fave, 21 points. I picked up the Z, which is a great scoring tile. If I could get a high score with the Z, that may be enough for the win. Zamia. Where can I play that? I don't see where I can play that. The V takes no front hooks. Loonies. Loonies takes a back T. So if I make my blank the T, I could play the word czar. 57 points. That is excellent. And if I pick the N, I may be able to play Tsarina on the next turn. Let's give that a try. Well, there were no tiles left in the bag, which I should have noticed, so I knew that I was not going to draw another, or I should have known that I wasn't going to draw another letter. Now, AMI. Where can I play out? Right here, AMI. Also, AIM is going to be more points. AIM here scores 13. This scores 14. Just trying to look for higher scoring areas for my letters. MIC scores 18 but does not play out. But mica is a valid word, I think. Or am I thinking of Formica? Pretty sure it's good, but I don't believe I want to take a chance. If you're not 100% sure and you can win the game by playing out, that is the right thing to do. Mica. I believe that is good, but I'm not 100% sure, and playing a phony would be pretty much the only way I can lose the game, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play AIM for the win. All right, and my opponent has to pass to end the game. And as soon as my opponent passes, I will thank him for a good game. All right. Now, we're going to see what we missed. No phonies were played in the game. That's good. All right, my opponent went first, and let's see what I had. I could have played wipe, and I did play wipe for 27 points. And my opponent picked up the blank and played a double-double, librated. That was an excellent play by my opponent. And what could I have done? Loran. What did I play? I played Lanner. So I scored more points than the recommended play. Of course, The drawback is that I don't have as good a leave. Now, I could have played instead Ronell in the same place, and I would have had a leave of just A. That would have been better than my play and almost as good, according to the computer, as the recommended play of Loran. All right. Here I had a lot of... Oops. I had a cooing plus a no. I could have played Kogon. I considered that briefly. I maybe didn't say it. I played cooing instead. No missed bingos here. I could have played gelato for 30 points at 3i. Oh, I see that's very highly parallel there. Instead, I played Goliath. All right, that was the fourth computer choice. And here I had lots of vowels, so I traded. I could have played Dobie, but that rack leave of 2 U's, which most of these plays have 2 U's, not good at all. So we trade. The computer does not consider trading. All right, so here, fatted. So I saw D-fat, but I also could have played fatted for even more points. And that would have been better. Also, I would have had only 1 consonant left instead of 2. And here, digest, that was my play. Kickbox, wow, interesting. So that's how you get the X on this double letter square here. Well, that's an interesting play. What did I play? I played just ox. Well, that is the fourth computer choice. I do keep the blank. Now, did I have a bingo here? I was starting to run short on time, so my brain was starting to go into a little bit of a freeze. I did this to open up a lane, and my opponent closed down the triple lane. Now, I wonder if I had a bingo here. I did not. Okay. And I play boy to help clean up the rack. That is not within the top considered plays. E7. E7. Oh, I see. Putting a Y on Yao. Making Axis and Yao. That's a nice play. And here, do I have a bingo here? No, I do not. And I played fave instead of 5. Interesting. Probably playing fave is better because look at all the A's in the bag. There's only 1 I. So in this case, I think fave is the better play. And here, Tsar, and that was my play. That was, I believe my opponent probably did not consider that T back hook. And here, Micah was valid, which I thought it was, but better safe than sorry. I play aim and won the game. Well, this was quite an interesting game. I got in a little bit of time trouble there at the end, and I didn't have much time to carefully consider plays, but hopefully this was a valuable video for you to watch in any case. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. My name is Brian Gailbach, and this has been a test video for Dweebovision.